Hi, I'm MTG, and welcome to my channel where I waste my wild cards on meme decks so you don't have to. And today we're playing with some new Boulder Gates cards. It's pretty funny because I just got back from Command Fest where I did my first Boulder's Gate draft. So some of these cards are like way different than what they are in paper. So I see them or I go to cast them thinking they do one thing and they do something totally different. So it's a little bit of a challenge, but I'm excited to show you what this deck's all about. So I'll stop blabbering and let's go check out the deck. See you in a second. All right, here is the commander, and oh my goodness, like it's different than in paper, but it's kind of funny because when you're in like an actual match and arena and you try to like read this commander, it gets cut off a little bit at that last sentence. So you actually have to like scroll down a little bit for it. And it's really funny because I almost wonder at sometimes like if that kind of gave me an advantage because I felt like people wouldn't really read what my commander did because it's just like literally it's a book, like if you want to. But I guess I'll read this novel. Starting intensity is 0. Creatures you control get +X+0, where X is Minthara's intensity. Whenever one or more permanents you control leave the battlefield, perpetually increase Minthara's intensity and the intensity of cards named Minthara of the absolute in your hand, library, and graveyard by 1. This ability triggers only once each turn. So with your commander, obviously you're not going to really care about the other like piece of this where the Minthara's like intensities kind of like stack off of each other. But what's really helpful is if you have creatures you leave the battlefield like through blink effects or sacrifice or whatever, then she's just gonna like make everything else stronger on the battlefield for you. And I believe, based on the interactions when I was playing with her, she holds on to those intensity counters as well. So when you recast her, then poof, it's there. So that was pretty helpful. But then here with the Demon's Disciple and Felsteiner, I thought these would be really good cards just for like, okay, if I'm not blinking something or if I like something attacked with didn't die and I needed to get like those intensity counters up, uh, then this was really helpful for just kind of like making that intensity trigger go off. And it only happens once each turn. So like just be kind of cognizant of that, or if you're wanting to build up more of those intensity triggers, like maybe hold off on using some of these cards if you're not really sure you're gonna have an effect that will help other things leave the battlefield. So with that, like kind of doing standard like black things where you just want to have like sack outlets or ways to like sacrifice your own creatures, and then you want things to be sacked, right? So things that will reward you for like if they die. And I thought things like Dire Fleet Hoarder would be really helpful because when this creature dies, you create a treasure token. I have other effects in here too where you get to draw a card if a creature dies, stuff like that. And like Daxos Sunblessed, where if a creature dies, then you're gaining life. So I think like those abilities are going to help a lot with this deck because like you want things to be leaving the battlefield, whether that be through dying triggers or just blink effects. And something that was really fun to do was if I had Teleportation Circle out to cast Massacre Wurm and then blink Massacre Wurm. So everything goes from getting a -2/-2. Maybe they survive the first round, but you blink it again and they get -4/-4. So I did that for a game, and that was just every bit of joy for me because I love getting kills with Massacre Wurm. So that was pretty fun interaction. And then also because it leaves the battlefield, will technically trigger Minthara. So that was pretty sweet. Other pieces too, because Minthara does get targeted pretty easily. I thought it'd be a good idea just to put like protection spells or effects that you can bring Minthara back if they die. So like Malachor Rebirth or Feign Death, I found were pretty helpful, especially you're in black and let's say like you want to sacrifice something, you don't really have any sack fodder you're willing to really part with, but you want to get a Minthara trigger. Well, you can just cast like Feign Death on something you care about and then let it die and then, save it with Feign Death. Other cards that I thought were like new cards that would synergize really well with what this commander wanted to do was stuff like Flaming Fist Officer. Because whenever another creature leaves the battlefield, you can put a +1/+1 counter on Flaming Fist Officer. So what I thought was really interesting about this card too is like I board wiped and then I had enough mana to play Flaming Fist Officer. And because, the creatures that I had that died in the, board wipe, disappeared, they're off the battlefield. Then Flaming Fist Officer still saw that after I played her, with the board wipe. So like, all right, she came in as a 3/3 instead, which is pretty sweet. And then Lulu Hollyphant, I think it's so funny because I have this as my paper commander. So it trips me up a bit when I see, like this just here in Alchemy where it's basically a totally different card. But whenever you have like a creature enter the battlefield, it'll get flying after you cast this. So I like doing this for things that were kind of like ways that I wanted to add some sort of like evasion or swing into attack a bit more. But where it also was really helpful was if I had something with like Death Touch and I needed to block a flyer, I cast Lulu, then I cast that like cheap creature with Death Touch, and then it's harder for the opponent to break through like your defenses a bit more. And then with those abilities, like let's say nothing's working out with Minthara, Minthara is too expensive, been removed too many times. I wanted to have like kind of alternate win conditions where I think with this like Orzhov shell, you're going to get a lot of like drain stuff going on, but then you can also just be like, aggro mono white kind of mentality where you're just hoping things come in tapped where they don't have blockers. You make it harder for them to put blockers out, and then you gain a lot of life, so you hopefully can like survive through whatever insanity is going on, and like also gain back life that you're potentially losing through some of like Black's card draw effects, because they like to make you lose life when you're drawing cards. And then Heliod, of course, being able to add lifelink and counters to things. And Adeline, our champion of mono white legends, which is just aggro, hit face, make lots of tokens. And those tokens could potentially, help you get any sort of like, Meat Hook Massacre triggers or Blood Artist triggers if your opponent blocks them and they die. So I hope this was somewhat of a good summary of what this deck wants to do. Essentially, get value through either sacrificing things or blinking them and hitting face. So let's go see it in action. Oh, we're going up against the Dwagon. The Dwagon again. This feels like too slow of a start. So mulligan. Ooh, I like this a lot. Ooh, this is actually going to be really good. Hell yeah. Oh, that makes me really happy. I'm always happy whenever I can get Adeline down. Hopefully they like, don't remove her though. Put this down on black. Boop. Oh, that's a really crazy good card. I saw someone using that in a Tohalor deck, and it's just batty bonkers. Like, it literally was just like ramping them, or not ramping, but putting so many creatures on board. Thankfully, I had a few board wipes in hand, but like, it got out of hand pretty quick. Oh, and this is the commander that does Ward 2, and whenever a non-token dragon enters the battlefield under your control, create a token that's a copy of it, except the token isn't legendary if that is, if the dragon they're copying is legendary. Wow, I butchered that. I hope you understood and could read what that was on its own. Cultivating, okay. And we have a Ravenous Chupacabra, which I'm pretty happy about, and a Meat Hook, so I think we're going to be fine. I am bummed about the nerf to Meat Hook, though. Like, that life gain was so clutch. Alright. Down you. Down you. And this, because I think it's hilarious to give this flying. I have Lulu and Paper Commander, so it's really weird seeing the alchemy version of her. Okay, I hit face. And the goal here is to just kill this person before they can play any dragons. I don't know if we have enough damage output, but at least we have like a Death Toucher with flying now, so that'll be a good blocker. 3, 4, 5. So we don't have enough to Ravenous and target Mirim. So I think we're going to have to feed the Swarm. Yeah, it's going to hurt us a bit. Auto pay. I'll put down Shambling just to get Edaline a bit more of a boost. And I think it's worth it to just... We'll leave Orzhov back just in case there's like... Oh, game. Just in case there's a gold span that they can drop if this doesn't kill them. Oh, it did. Okay. GG's. The first Sliver. I think because we have Esper, I'll just keep that. But first Sliver is going to be brutal. Yeah, the Cascade stuff. At least we have a Hungry Massacre Wurm and a board wipe. I don't know if that's going to be enough. Okay, we'll put this down on black. Drop this. And ship the turn. Ooh, this will be really interesting to see how this works. I don't know if Minthara is really strong enough to keep up with the first Sliver. It's got flying. Okay, we hit our third land drop. Wedding announcement is clutch, except for when things have flying. At least we have some removal there too. Sweet. We are getting all the card draw, which is nice. Okay. Isolate Chapel is always good. And I guess I'll just attack with this dude. Nope, we let it happen. In. Okay. We're at least going to hit our Massacre Wurm land drops. But we definitely want to vanquish the Horde. It's rough. Or do we want Blood on the Snow? We don't have enough for Blood on the Snow. There's our answer. I guess just attack. And vanquish. Oof. And I think I'll do Flaming Fist Officer. And oh, sweet. And she gets the counters, I guess. I didn't realize she still got it after the board wipe. Yeah, it doesn't. It just says leaves the battlefield. Oh, is that going to be lethal? Is the question. No. Gonna get them pretty low though. Woohoo! Because then we can just feed the Swarm whatever they put in next. And go wide, I think. Oh, they're down to 1 because they shocked it in. Oh my goodness. This is so intense. Oh, I'm so nervous. Okay. They don't have haste, right? Did we do it? I think we did. Watch this. Oh my goodness. Ah! Actually, me, Sliver's dead. Good game. Oh my goodness. That was so scary. Ooh, dragon time. I think this is the one that makes the toughness and attack power flip. I'll keep this. We have quite a few 2-card drop. So, okay, it's got Flying Vigilance. Whenever a creature with Defender enters the battlefield under your control, draw a card. Each creature you control with Defender assigns combat damage to its toughness rather than its power and can attack as though it didn't have Defender. That's pretty interesting. Let's put down Sanctum. I don't have any turn 1 plays anyways. Drop this, and let's get Order down. Are you going to counter? Mana type. Alright. That's kind of funny. When they see Ayara, they're probably going to wish they held on to that. Unless they're just all counter spells. Then I'll just be sad. They're just going to counter everything I play. Good times. I'd rather have them just use up all their counter spells now, though, honestly. Let's put this down. Drop that as well. So they let those resolve. See if they let my commander resolve. So they have another counter spell, that much is clear. Interesting. It seems like they're going to put their commander down and then maybe leave some mana up to keep it protected with a counter spell. Oh. I have a Hydra. Guess we can try this, see if they counter it. Nope. Oh, they didn't have any mana up. I don't know why I missed that. And then I guess we'll just hit face. And in turn. We got the cutest puppy. The best card in Magic. Can't go wrong with Spirited Companion. I mean, look at that. Can't even right now. Kind of surprised they haven't played their commander yet. Do they have a board wipe? Nope. Okay. So we are going to keep the swarm it because it's a flyer. I'm gonna put Spirited Companion down just to get that card draw, and it's a cutie little card. Okay. And then bonk, bonk, bonk. And turn. We don't have any removal. But I probably should get this down next so I can keep the board state alive. Let's do this. Assuming it doesn't get countered. Nope, it resolves. Okay. I love this card because when you exile it, it can give the board indestructible. Curious if they block the commander, that's probably the better play so it doesn't make my other creatures grow stronger. Yeah. Okay. I love Boo so much. I'm never sad if I die to a cute hamster. Okay. We're gonna activate this to keep our stuff safe. I wonder if they didn't see. 2 non-permanents you control. Oh. Okay. GG's. This is, I think, Baldur's Gate new dragon that dropped. We do have some early plays, but not a lot of anything else that's going to help with these dragons. I do like that we have Shatter Sanctum, but again, I'm just worried that like if they're going to be dropping dragons, that's not going to be super helpful. So I'm going to Molly. It's not great either because we don't have like any black sources. Okay. This isn't bad because we have authority of the consoles. I'll put Halo Fountain back. We'll drop. Ooh, dragon animation. Okay, we have authority of the consoles. I think will help buy us time and help us with getting life. I'm gonna drop Snow Covered Swamp, and then put Dusk Legion Zealot. Ooh, and we hit a land drop. Put down Isolated Chapel, and then we'll do Felsinger. Sacrifice creature. Lose 2, draw 2, and not terrible. Okay. Yeah. And then I guess let's put down the commander. And we won't attack because that way if the Felstainer dies, Minthara, I don't know why her name's so hard to pronounce, we'll at least be able to put intensity counters on things. Is this gonna get trampled? Oh, sorry, I realized I didn't read the commander. So it has Ward 2, and whenever another non-token dragon enters the battlefield under your control, create a token that's a copy of it, except the token isn't legendary if that dragon is legendary. So pretty spicy overall. Okay. So we'll put down Oil Warhound, since it'll let us ramp. And we'll play this as land for turn. And then let's get Blood Artist down just in case they start like removing stuff. The fun part is Teleportation Circle might help us ramp a little, or unless we're at the same amount of lands. Oh, we are. Ooh, Massacre Wurm. That would be pretty funny to have Teleportation Circle down, and then next turn we blink this twice. Hand. And I guess Soul Guide Lantern, just in case they have ways to get stuff out. We'll just exile that, buddy. Sweet. So I think we can do this next turn, which would be kind of funny. So blink Massacre Wurm, because it gives it until end of turn. So if we're lucky, they'll tap out, or at least make it use their blue source. Yeah. Oh, that works too. Kind of like that. Yeah, this is tough. I think I'll save the Blood on the Snow. Mostly just because I want to do this, because I think it's going to be funny. And then, no, it, or actually, yeah, we can't attack. And then we'll blink Massacre Wurm. This is so funny. And then that'll kill Smoldering Egg and deal damage. Wow, that's actually really cool. I've never done that before. That's really, really funny. Okay. I think I'm just going to let them play their hand a bit more. Unless, actually, maybe this is a good time. So attack. Get a treasure token from that. Okay. Yeah, I'm thinking like we attack with these two. And then board wipe with blood on the snow. Because they also don't have blue open. And then let's destroy all creatures. We'll only be able to bring something back with 3. Let's do Blood Artist. So Blood Artist did see everything die during that board wipe. Is that lethal? Oh, jeez. Whoa, I didn't realize Massacre Wurm was going to see that too. Jeez. That's also why Massacre Wurm's my favorite. Oh, man. Mill fun. Oh, boy. Well, we have some removal to deal with Birdbaths. How much mana does it? Okay, there are 3. This is 2. I guess we have this 2 to deal with it. But power is not 4 or greater, so that won't work either. This does look a little risky to keep, I think. Just because of the 2 lands. We do have some early card draw. I don't know. We'll see where it takes us. Overwhelmed Apprentice. Alright, they're pretty stressed out, I guess. Just put down the snow-covered plains. Guess pass. We'll help them deck then. Okay. Down that. Arcane Signet. And then I think we can... Yeah, then I think we can take them out. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. I think that'll help us. Ooh, it's a little tough when you're dealing with Mill. So they definitely have like a counter. Oh, I thought it was a counter spell. Oh, I was wrong. Behold the multiverse. Yeah, so this commander's rough. Sorry if you don't know who they are, but if an opponent would mill 1 or more cards, they mill twice that many cards instead. So we don't have enough for a board wipe yet. Can we actually... Let's hit Ruvik. And... I don't know. Let's see this. Ooh, that's spicy. Oh, actually, I played against this at Command Fest over the weekend. Their whole deck was pretty much just persistent petitioners, and they had Ruvik out, and they were just milling like crazy. At one point, they milled someone out for like, I think it was for 54. Crazy. Ooh. Okay. Board wipe. I don't even pay attention to what they've been hitting. A little bit of land. Nothing super important. The nice part is we do have Gingy. So let's put a little bit of like aggro pressure on them. And send a message with Soul Lantern. We'll hit one of their persistent, what are they? Persistent petitioners. Sounds like they're in politics. A little nervous though. I usually don't mind mill too much, especially if I'm in black, because I'm like, cool, you're just giving me more stuff to pick from. The fun part here is the Jadar synergy will feed pretty good, but I think we actually have time, so let's just do that. We'll just attack with one of these, and things will start getting intensity counters. So at the very least, like, our creatures will start getting pretty big. And then we can also put in Welcoming Vampire to get some more card draw off those Decayed tokens. Because they come in... Oh, maybe they won't. Maybe that's a bit of a non-vote because of the Minthara giving the +1/+1 boost. But I think that'll be fine. Again, we can actually just try maybe Junji. Okay. What do we have in here that's going to be like super clutch? Okay, let's drop this. I think we just want this for more damage in the air, right? Or do you want to do this? Let's try this. Void counter? I don't think so. I think I'm just going to have Demon Disciple dice because the Decayed Zombie is going to be able to attack, and then it'll give an additional trigger to Minthara with the Insanity. Oh, never mind. It only triggers once each turn. I lied. Still, we get a trigger. We want some more flyers, probably. And then let's just have everyone attack. Well, this isn't as bad as I thought it would be. Okay. I think we can have lethal here soon, right? Unless they can mill me out here soon. They're gonna play the commander. Alright. Okay, GG's. That was intense. Always nervous with the milling stuff. Well, I hope you had fun seeing all the shenanigans we got into. And I figured just a fun way to close out this video would just to call out some of the high synergy cards that are just really fun. So Jadar, I think, was really good when Minthara was out, just because when those zombie decayed tokens die, then you're going to get intensity counters on stuff. So I just really like those two interactions there, because as long as Jadar is on the field, you're potentially just, stacking up those intensity counters. Another card too that I think I'll play a lot more of, because I do like blink effects and I do like sacrifice effects, is a Flaming Fist Officer, just because, again, whenever another creature you control leaves the battlefield, you get to put a +1/+1 counter on it, and so there's the potential for it to get really big. And then I also like the idea of just okay, board wipe happens and you cast this again and it gets a +1/+1 counter. And I'm curious, I haven't tried the interaction yet, but I'm pretty sure that would work if you did Blood on the Snow and then you brought this back with the recursion effect from Blood on the Snow. Because if you pay with 3 snow mana, you can get her back. And then I'm guessing that would probably put a +1/+1 counter on there. And I haven't seen that interaction, but I believe that's how it would work. And then, of course, the Teleportation Circle and Massacre Wurm was just pure gold. It's just so much fun. I really love flickering. And it's kind of funny because you can think of flickering as kind of the inverse of graveyard recursion, because you're making those ETB effects essentially double up when you when you flicker stuff or when you pull things out of the graveyard and put it onto the battlefield. So those were really fun cards. I'm definitely going to try to explore a bit more of, you know, the different Baldur's Gate cards. It's hard for me to kind of break away from my favorites, like, you know, putting Massacre Wurm and Junji in like every black deck that I have, but I'm going to try to mix things up a bit and maybe put in a few more new cards just to see how they do. Yeah, so hope you had fun. Let me know if there's any commanders you want me to give a try, and you know, I'll build a deck around them. And hope you have a good rest of the day. I don't know, I forgot how to close these things out. Have a good one. Bye.